That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, it's Movie Trailer Trash. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Charlie.
And we just watched the trailer for Love, Simon.
Yeah, that we did.
Starring...
His name is Nick Robinson.
Nick Robinson from Kings of Summer.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep.
And what's the other one you just
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. So, if you've seen any of those movies, he's the kid in that.
I would say that I know that one of them is bad. I know that one of them is good.
That is not okay for you to say.
What, Jurassic World?
Oh, okay, never mind. Go on. I thought you were just assuming that everything was
and
bad.
then that was the next thing I was going to say, and I assumed that everything is bad.
Well, that's fine if you say I assume. You just got to preface it. Charlie's a big Jurassic World hater. I am... How do you say?
Also a Jurassic World hater.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good, but I saw potential in it. And I can tell you one thing. The next Jurassic World, I see no potential
Was
in
the
that.
potential you saw in it just the fact that it was based on a really good movie?
No, I'm saying like the
or
idea...
Taken from a really good movie?
Okay, we're already going on a tangent, but real fast. I'm saying that the idea of it was interesting, that the military would want to use the creatures and that...
Yeah, that's what was happening in the first movie. Or I guess not the military, but a rival. That's what made everything go wrong. Is that Newman was trying to steal the embryos
but I'm just
for
saying,
what
the
is the
way
guy's
that they
name?
were doing it in this one, I was like, okay, I could see that. Like the way they were gonna use the velociraptors, train them and stuff. I could see that, and I liked the whole thing where he liked Blue and Blue knew him. But the point is, it was bad because of bad writing. It wasn't bad because of the big picture. It was bad because of terrible dialogue and terrible character development and a stupid dinosaur. That one big dinosaur was dumb.
You mean the big picture that was already created 20 years ago and was
say
really
what
good?
you will, but I think that they casted Chris Pratt well. I think he could have done a good job. I think that the two main characters had no chemistry, and we're off topic.
I think that it could have been really good if it was completely different in every way.
Not in every way.
Oh, it's still about dinosaurs.
Hey, just because you hate it and I don't, doesn't mean you got to ruin our entire episode by talking about it.
You're the one talking about it.
No, I said we're getting off track.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, this movie, Love, Simon, the thing about it is, it's like a teen coming-of-age story, right?
Yes. We've seen those before.
Sure, and it reminds me a lot of probably Edge of 17.
Yeah, maybe a little...
It has that feel, but more funny.
Yeah, I was going to say lighter.
Yeah, lighter.
Like more
yeah, that's
for...
what you mean. Yeah, because then, I
more
mean,
for
Edge of 17
teenagers.
is also funny, but it's not very light. It's very, very heavy.
Because like this is directed... or targeted directly at teenagers, whereas Edge of 17 was also for teenagers, but more for everyone, adults
yeah, but I think this will be for everyone too.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't like a teeny bop movie, like I don't know,
a teeny bop movie,
like Power Rangers. You know what I mean?
That was for little kids, I would say.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't think of one of those movies right now, but it's not one of those movies that's just for teens. Like
just for teens,
people are gonna
like,
enjoy taking their kids to this.
Yeah, probably. But the big thing about this movie is...
so, yeah, let's get to it.
It's like a coming-of-age tale, but
and
the
a
difference
coming-out tale
is that he's gay.
Yeah. So...
Had to get there before me, didn't you?
I did. Well, before this started, you said, you can take lead on this, Bethany. My love, my wife.
And then
because
chaos.
I trust you, and I know that you'll do a great job.
The first 30 seconds, we drove into chaos in the
because
form
of you.
Jurassic World.
Because of you. This whole thing. Okay. We digress. So, yeah. Love, Simon.
Love, Simon.
Okay, so I do like this actor.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him in Kings of Summer.
Mm-hmm. He had a funny little high schooler mustache in that.
Yeah, and I thought that he was fine in Jurassic World, even though you didn't like the movie. Like, his role wasn't... He was decent at acting. He did a good job of, like, being sweet with his little brother and stuff, whatever.
I think that people said that the two kids in that were, like, one of the things
better
about
parts?
it that was not terrible,
Yeah.
which is weird because usually kid actors are terrible.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. But yeah, so I think he's a decent actor, and this looks to be fun. And I want to talk about other movies that remind me of it. So I already said Edge of 17, which was more recent.
Mm-hmm.
But also it reminds me a lot of Easy A, starring Emma Stone.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I know. I really want you to see it. Because I think that's like one of those movies that it's on the higher end of the scale.
Uh-huh.
Like for good quality coming of age teen stories. Do you have any that you can think of?
Not really, but that's just because I don't really watch this type of movie.
Well, what about Superbad?
But see, that's more of a comedy.
But that's okay.
Because like that's like a straight up like ridiculous scenario comedy where everything is crazy and everyone is hilarious, you know?
Yeah,
it's like a kind of
but it's still very high school. They're still very much high schoolers. The
Yeah.
way they act, the way they react,
I'm trying
and
to think
their attitudes. And like
I
Mean
don't really
Girls,
know.
that's a high
Probably,
schooler
I mean,
movie.
Mean Girls, yeah. I think
feel
Mean
like there's
Girls is
something I'm
more
missing.
like this.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think we're probably missing a ton of them
that I
because
just can't think of.
both of us, neither of us see these movies.
Well,
really.
that's what I'm saying though. But there are a few quality ones, and I feel
Hmm.
like this looks more like those than it does all the little teeny bop ones.
Yeah.
All the ones you would outgrow. You know,
Right.
Like all-
Chronicle.
what?
Chronicles just like this.
No.
No? Oh, this guy looks like that guy.
He has similar
Dane
hair,
DeHaan?
but I would never.
They look very similar.
I
They
feel like
always look
that's-
really tired.
I feel
both
like
of
that's
them.
mean to this guy.
What?
Dane DeHaan's a very
He's a famous
tired
actor.
looking guy.
Oh, dude, this guy
Sick
looked
looking.
so tired in this trailer. There's just like he's like, I have a big
But-
damn secret, and it showed his face, and he had just like giant black bags underneath
No, I was
his
gonna say
eyes.
Dane DeHaan has really crazy big bags under his eyes and is really unattractive. This kid's like attractive, and he also looks like sweet. And Dane DeHaan looks evil. And I realize that's probably because I saw him in Chronicle first, but still,
He's also a bad guy in Spider-Man,
yeah, he's got that look.
and we haven't seen Valerian
This
yet.
could never pull off like an evil look. He seems innocent and sweet.
Maybe if it was like playing a villain on like an Arrowverse TV show.
Maybe. Yeah.
Where he's
Yeah.
all
I
brightly
could
dressed
see
in
that.
bright colors, which to segue,
Okay.
the director of this movie, Greg Berlanti, has only directed one other movie before, and it was a terrible romantic comedy with Josh Duhamel and Katherine Heigl. But
okay.
he's been a producer for The Flash and
Nice.
Arrow for like 5 years, I think.
So that's good.
So that's good.
Because those are both along the same line as this. Like, they're not teens necessarily, but it's family-friendly comedy. Family-friendly comedy dramedy.
Right.
Which I think that's what this is. And the reason I bring up Edge of 17 is because this does look a little more serious, though. Like, it doesn't look as silly as Superbad and Mean Girls, but it's gonna be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But more than that, it's gonna be like, I mean, he's coming out, and that's a big deal. And I think it's interesting to talk
Well, yeah,
about.
he's going to be depressed the whole time and using humor as a whatever.
Sure, kind of like her.
That's gonna be.
But the thing is, that's what's so interesting about this is we've seen lots and lots of teen movies where somebody has a crush on someone and they just can't tell them or whatever.
Right.
10 Things I Hate About You. That's another one. That's a teen movie. But
Not another teen movie.
no, I don't think that counts.
Chris Evans.
But
Captain America is in that movie. Sorry.
okay, going on. But yeah, I think that this is important that we tell this story because it's important to have representation, especially for younger kids, because we do have more representation of the LGBTQ community in movies nowadays, but especially to have a lead in a teen movie that is gay, I think that's awesome.
This is actually based on a book.
Really?
That is the name of the book is the title they should have used for the movie.
Okay.
It's called Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda.
No, that would have not been taken as seriously though.
Well, but it's funny.
People would have rolled their eyes and been like, "That's a crappy movie," just by the name alone.
More so than Love, Simon.
Yeah, Love, Simon seems like a normal movie title.
Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a movie I'd want to see.
Well, but it's a funny title.
It is funny, but
The writers for this movie is a writing team that has only done TV up until this point.
okay.
They have a bunch of TV credits, but the two notable ones are they wrote They were both the executive story editor for Zack Stone Is Gonna Be Famous for all of the
Nice.
episodes, and also they wrote 4 or 5 of them. And that show, you probably, if you haven't heard of it, it's the show with Bo Burnham, and it's really, really weird and funny.
Yeah, I liked it. The few episodes I saw,
And so that's cool that they
and
did
it's
that.
funny, so that's good because this is definitely gonna have some humor in it.
They've also written 4 episodes of This Is Us, which is
What?
one of your favorite shows and one of the more popular shows happening right now.
Do you know which 4?
I remember one of them was called Deja Vu.
So one of them. Okay, so that's one of the ones where they had the girl Deja that they were fostering.
Okay.
And everybody loves that girl. And she's a teenager. She's like actually 13 years old, the girl who played her. And she's really great. Like great actress. And people loved her. So that's good because that means they know how to direct teenagers.
Well, write for.
Or write
These
for.
are the
Yeah,
writers.
exactly. Sorry, not direct. Write for.
So yeah, that's like kind
So
of an
that's good.
interesting combination of things to prepare them for this role, for this movie.
Yeah, I like it.
And
I mean, that's
also,
interesting.
I don't know. I feel like when they're the first movie that they do after they've done a whole bunch of TV is like kind of a like it lets you know that they're good. You know what I mean? So like someone has seen all of the work that they've done up to this point
Yeah.
and has decided to give them a
Like,
job.
you know what? You guys should write a movie.
You know, they didn't just like
Yeah. You've done well with these things. Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, it doesn't always work out that way. A movie
And
is a
again,
totally
that's
different
just a-
format. So
it's just a thing that I am assuming.
well, it's a different format. It's a lot longer, but
Wait,
It's a
movies
team of
movies are
writers.
longer than TV
come
shows.
on, stop it. It's a team of writers, so hopefully they can work together and make it work. It looks decent. Oh, we mentioned the comic book Arrowverse stuff, but we forgot to mention that Wally is in this.
Yes, Wally from The Flash, if anyone watches that.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Wally.
He's in this, and I think
Kid Flash.
it looks from the trailer that he is the main character's love interest.
I think he's the main character's crush, but is
yeah.
not gay.
Well, yeah, because he walked in on him making out with some
Yeah.
girl.
So,
Spoiler.
well, I mean, it was in the trailer.
That's true.
And there was another. So, okay, one thing that's funny is at the very end of this. Well, first of all, at the very beginning, the kid's talking about how he has a secret and he hasn't told anybody, and then it shows him like getting ready to go to school in the morning, and he's trying to yell at the guy across the street who's like using a leaf blower to tell him that he likes his boots. He's like, "I like your boots," and the kid's like, "What?" And he's like, I like your boots. And it's really awkward, and he's just like, ugh, like he's hopeless. He's like, I don't know how to talk to people. So that was kind of funny. But then at the very end, they showed a little clip where he said, by the way, why is it that only gay people have to come out? Like, why don't straight people have to come out? Why does straight have to be the default? And so then it goes through like a little series of students or kids telling their parents that they're straight, and their parents reacting in some of the many different ways that other parents react when their kids come out. And that's really funny. And I think that's a fun little bit. Like, I think that's the type of thing that I feel like a lot of people sit around and talk about when they're trying to be comedians at home. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're just like joking with your friends, you're like, what if you had to tell your parents that you were straight, and you're like, you guys, I like men, and then they were all upset about it.
Well, that's an interesting thing about this movie is that I'm wondering if it will be partly sketches also because of that.
Yeah, because it kind of like, it is like a sketch. It's like he's imagining this scenario, and they show all these different little moments.
Which would be an interesting thing.
And that,
at least,
I mean,
and
and
make
it
it
looked
different.
funny. That part looked really funny. I did see another trailer, and in that other trailer, somebody says like, so did you see the email? And he's like, what are you talking about? They're like, somebody's gay. Who do you think it is? So something I learned from the second trailer is that basically at some point, somebody in the school writes some sort of anonymous letter or email. Maybe it's on like a social media or something platform, maybe a school platform or whatever, but they are like, I'm gay and nobody knows it, whatever, and I don't know what to do. And it looks like he's going to start writing to that person. Like he's going to say, hey, because he says, I'm just like you. Doesn't he say that in this trailer too?
I think so.
So I think he starts to write to the person who's like, hey, I'm just like you. Like nobody knows. And so they're going to be like anonymous kind of chatting with each other. And maybe they'll fall in love. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Maybe the other person who's gay
Maybe
is
it's
a woman.
Wally.
Well, I don't think so though.
Oh.
But I'm saying maybe the other person who's gay is a woman and they're not even
Maybe it's the girl he was talking to at the beginning.
good for each other. Yeah. So who knows? But
that's probably why the movie's called Love, Simon, is because the whole movie seems to be taking place over the course of this letter that he's writing.
Yeah. So like, and I mean, and there might be some back and forth. Maybe there will be some like maybe it'll be like you've got mail.
I bet $4,000
Oh wow.
that the last lines of this movie are Love, Simon.
I won't bet you that much, but I'll take you up on a $5.
$4,000.
I'll take you up on a $5 bet. I feel like that would be a too cheesy of a way to end it.
But this is kind of a cheesy movie.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be too sweet. Like it's a funny movie, and I feel like it would be. There has to be like a little funny something afterwards.
Maybe he gets it tattooed on his body.
No. But yeah, like that's another reason though that it kind of reminds me of Easy A with Emma Stone is because she's sitting behind the computer. She's actually vlogging the whole time, but she's like,
ooh, vlogging.
Yeah, she's like taking a video and talking to the camera, but she's basically she's telling this story, her story to her school, and she's gonna like post it. So as she's telling it, you go back and you see the story happening. But you also see her doing that. And so since he's sitting at a computer and writing, I think it's going to be a little bit like that. And that's a really good movie.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, let's move on to where, when, and how you're going to see this movie.
Okay.
Where? When?
How? Are you going to see this movie?
All right. So I think this movie is coming out over Valentine's Day weekend.
Ooh, I forgot to look it up. Let's take a look.
So you can take a look at that. But regardless, I do think it's coming out soon. And there's no way I'm going to be able to see this in movie theaters. Sorry. In the movie theaters because I'm busy. And if I'm going to take time to go see a movie in the movie theaters, it's going to be I, Tonya, because I'm still behind and haven't caught up on that.
March 16th.
Okay, so I was wrong. But yeah, I think that I have too many movies between now and then that I want to see that are more important to me, plus other busy things that I'm doing. So I don't think I'll see this in theater, but if it gets good reviews and there's some decent talk, I'll probably want to rent it just like we did with Edge of 17. And I bet that I will like it.
Okay.
I have a good feeling about this movie. I think it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily going to be like, the best coming of age teen movie ever, but I think it'll be like Easy A good, where I'm like, oh, you should see that. That was good.
I never ended up seeing that though.
Well, you should see that. That was good.
And I probably will never end up seeing this either.
Baloney.
I mean, mostly just
calling you out.
Mostly because it's the type of movie that I don't really, care to see.
What?
I'm past that portion of my life. I don't really.
You saw Edge of 17 and you wanted to see that. You were like,
Edge of 17 was really good.
Let's watch that. This is going to be good too.
Woody Harrelson was in Edge of 17. Is he in this?
So?
Josh Duhamel
Wally's
is in this. Josh Duhamel is in this.
I don't know who that is.
And Jennifer
is that
Gardner,
the main guy?
I think.
Oh, yeah. I like her.
Those are his parents, I think.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, but it's going to be some good teen actors or young adult actors.
Young adult actors.
Well, they may not be teens. A lot of times teens are played by like 20-somethings.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it'll be good. I mean, I liked that kid in Kings of Summer, and you liked that too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's another one, by the way. The Way, Way Back.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, so all those movies came out around the same time.
But Sam
and
Rockwell's
those were all,
in The Way, Way Back.
But hang on. So there was...
I love Sam Rockwell.
There was Mud, The Way, Way Back, and Kings of Summer. All came out that same summer.
Well, Mud was a drama, though.
Yes, but they're all really good, and they're all coming of age, like teenager stories.
I will say that
and you liked all of them.
Kings of Summer is very much like this one mood-wise.
Yeah.
And
like it's fun,
I didn't
lighthearted.
really want to see it. And then when we did, it was
you liked
good.
It was really good.
I guess I just don't like movies where the majority of time is spent at the school.
I don't think that's going to be the situation.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh.
Because I don't...
Another comparison, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Another, like, kind of dramedy.
Yeah, I mean, that one's a little more...
It's a little heavier, but But
yeah, like
it's a really good representation of teenagers.
and
I think
the
that's
characters
the thing.
are outlandish in that one.
A little bit, but
as
I
well.
think that they also are really realistic sometimes in the way they interact with each other and the way they talk. I think a lot of movies get teenagers way wrong. And all these good ones we've been talking about are the ones that get them right. So there's a lot of crappy teen movies where it's like you go into the high school and it's like, oh, look, there's the goths and there's the jocks and there's the nerds, and high school is totally ridiculous.
Well, you know what? Does a good job of making fun
And
of
it's
that.
not like that.
Is not another teen movie.
Have you actually seen that?
I've seen it multiple times.
Are you kidding
They
me?
used to play it on Comedy Central all the time.
I thought that came out like after you met me.
No,
Really?
like
Wow.
a while ago, a long time ago.
I can't believe you've seen that movie. It sounds terrible.
I mean, yeah, it's bad, but it's funny
Sounds
because
terrible.
they
But that's the
they
point,
make
like
fun
the-
of all those movies.
That's why I think this is going to be a good movie, because when you actually get that time of your life correct in movies, when you get that teenage years and you talk about it the right way, it's interesting. And I think it helps you to reflect on life and help you to, I don't know, it's good. It's fun. Oh, Lady Bird. That's another one that we haven't seen.
yeah. Well,
that
that's
just
not high
came out.
school though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's her senior year of high school.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she's like going dress shopping.
I do
for
wanna see
prom
that
with her
one.
mom. Yeah. Why is that?
Because it's supposed to be really good.
Okay, there you go. So what if this one's really good?
Then I'll see it,
Okay.
but
Fair enough.
probably not in the theater
Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to see
unless
that
we
in
get
the
Movie
theater.
Pass by then.
And then we might.
Let's move on to Rotten Tomatoes.
All right.
Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
Let's talk about those Rotten Tomato scores.
All right, I'll go first. All right, here's what I think. I don't think it's going to be a super great movie. I don't think that critics are going to like it a whole lot. I think going to say 59% from critics. But I think that audience is going to like it a lot. And so I'm going to say 81% from audience.
I wish that our listeners could see my face right now, because I am shocked.
Wait, why are you shocked, though?
Because,
honestly?
no, it looks good to me.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a fine movie, but
No,
it's
but
not
you-
something that
see,
would be like
You're
outrageously...
categorizing it in a similar category as everything.
Yeah.
And I'm categorizing it in a similar category as Kings of Summer and Edge of 17, which are really good movies.
Well, Edge of 17 got really good. I don't know
Yeah.
what Kings of Summer got.
Good.
But
I think this movie's
like,
going to get a 76%.
if we saw... Wait, hold on. You're going to have to say that again after this. If we saw the
Charlie's
trailer
not listening.
for Lady Bird, we wouldn't have assumed that Lady Bird would have gotten like a 95 like it has.
No, but I would have
Right.
assumed it got better than a 50-something.
Yeah, maybe.
Looked good. It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm saying 76%.
76 from critics.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is because I think that Edge of 17 got like an 80-something.
I think maybe
I
even
think
better than that.
maybe. I think that Kings of Summer got somewhere in the upper 60s or lower 70s. And I think this will be a good movie. I think it's comparable with those. And I don't think it's like everything. Even though I have no problem with movies like everything. But they are definitely more geared toward teenagers. They're not the type of movie that your parents would enjoy seeing. They're the type of movie that your parents dropped the middle school kids off at the theater to see. You know?
Kings of Summer got a 76%.
There you go. So I think it's going to get around that, because I think it'll be good. It's the type of movie that parents are like, yeah, let's go see that movie, instead of like, yeah, we'll drop you off and we'll go see a better movie, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I think critics will like that it's talking about this important issue, which is
Probably.
coming out. I think that they'll like that, especially if they address it well, which I think they will. I think they won't make it too heavy of a topic. They'll make it fun and light, but they'll also talk about it in a real way and kind of the real issues that come with this big decision. And I think,
I just don't think that critics like nice movies.
and by the way, I mean the decision of coming out, not the
You know
decision
what I mean?
of being gay. I don't think that's a
The
decision. Just want to be clear about
just want to
that.
specify.
But like,
But you know what I
choosing
mean?
when to come out is a big deal for kids and for adults or whoever. And I like that part of the trailer where he says that he's a little bit afraid because he's been this person his whole life, which is the person who's in the closet, who hasn't told people who he really is. And he said, no matter what, telling people who you really are is scary, because what if they don't like it? And that's like that's a good way of talking about it, because it's not just like, what if they don't like that I'm gay? It's like, what if they don't like who I am? Like, this is a part of me. Like, is there anybody can relate to that, even if you've never been gay before and come out or whatever. You might have had something else that you felt like, I can't really be who I am. And then what if I show people who I am and they don't like it?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a good line.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think that critics like little nice movies like this very much.
Maybe, but that's, I also don't think they hate it. I feel like
no,
giving it less than 60% is it's got to be a pretty crappy movie, I think.
Well, it's like half the critics don't like it.
I get it.
Less than half.
But I think generally, if a movie is good, it'll get above 60%.
Well, it's right at 59.
I know. Well, you went too low.
But we'll see.
You swooped in. You
like
stooped
I said,
too low.
I think that audience will think it's way better. And
I didn't
probably because
say.
it'll just be enjoyable and
audience. I'll give audience an 82. Why not? Just throw it up there.
Yeah. So there you go.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun and good.
There.
I think it's gonna be fun and good. I think it's awesome that they're doing a teenage movie because it's time for us to have a movie with kids in it where they're in love or where they're falling in love or they have a crush and they're gay, because we're still at that point in society where people are so afraid to talk about gay stuff with children. Like they're so afraid.
They won't even put them in a Star Wars movie. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. And just in general, they're like, it's like it's a naughty topic, even though it's not like you're talking about straight sex, which by the way, a lot of teen movies are anyway.
Most of them are about
that. But yeah, it's like
Edge of 17
people just
is
think
about
like
that.
just showing that like two guys like each other or two girls like each other is like dirty and filthy, and you can't put that on screen if children are watching. And it's like, no, it's just like showing that a girl and a guy like each other. It's not any dirtier or filthier than that. And so I just think it's good that we're getting to this point where it's a mainstream movie, because and I've talked about this before with you, for a long time there was like gay movies and regular movies. Like, and I mean, I'm sure there still are to a certain extent, but like they weren't mainstream. Like, you had Hedwig and the Angry Inch that my like friends in high school that were gay told me about. Nobody else I knew it. Of course now it's on Broadway and it's a big deal, and Neil Patrick Harris is going to be in it. So that's awesome. But I think it's Broadway where they're doing it. But anyway, I digress.
Who loves Broadway? Neil Patrick Harris.
Exactly. But I digress. But the point is, like, there were movies that represented them, but they were kind of hidden and they weren't in the main. You wouldn't see their commercials on TV. And now this is like a real mainstream movie, and I think it's going to be a good thing.
Well, good.
So, that being said, I think we should do a little bit of plugs.
Plugs?
I'm just going to say, if it's your first time listening, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We do this for the listeners.
And where have you been?
Yeah, and where have you been, man? But no, if you've enjoyed this, that's great. Check out our website, mttpodcast.com. You can get blogs about movies, news about movies. You'll see all of our old episodes there. We talk about movies. But no, you can go back. We're talking about current movies all the time. So if you're still interested or some movies are coming out, you can go back and see what we've said about them and see what you think. Feel free to interact with us on social media. Facebook is Movie Trailer Trash Podcast, and you can like us there. Also at MTT Podcast on Twitter. And tell your friends about us. Rate and review. That always helps. You guys are the reason we do what we do.
We do it for the fans.
Yeah.
And as always, follow Entertainment Buffet at Entertainment Buffet and subscribe to their YouTube channel as well.
And finally, just a little warning. Charlie and I are going to be busy this next month coming up. We've got some traveling to do. I'm going to Thailand. What? I'm going to Thailand with family. Charlie's going to visit family in Chicago. So there may be a week or two that we aren't able to bring you an episode. And if that is the case,
deal with it.
We will miss you, and I'm sure you will miss us. But that doesn't mean there won't be.
We're going the nice route?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't mean
I
there
went
won't
threatening.
be. That doesn't mean there won't be content. I might still be, tweeting, Facebooking. Maybe I'll, just for fun, throw a picture up from Thailand and be like, yo, what's up, my listeners? I'm in Thailand. So, keep an eye out. I'm real excited about it, and adventure awaits.
Absolutely.
As they say in the movie Up.
We'll see you next time. Love, Simon.
Bye, guys.